Game number 4 is about to get underway right now, and if Superjj is going to win, he's going to need 2 straight games, and SjoW is on match point.
And he's very capable of doing it, by the way. He's been dealing a ton of damage so far here and playing great. And look, he's actually going to bring out the Druid deck this time, and he's got Wild Growth and Innervate.
Yeah, what a hand from him in the opening, but SjoW, potential for this hand.
The old Mulligan Savage War into Savage War. Superjj's got to be feeling a little bit, mad at the RNG going forward here in this match.
I mean, it looks like he's getting a little bit frustrated.
Oh, he's definitely getting frustrated for sure.
So SjoW's hand, not too shabby. Haunted Creeper and Animal Companion and Piloted Shredder versus how Superjj is going to decide who wants to take on this one. Turn 1 Shade does not look bad to me at all.
Yeah, you could turn 1 Shade, or you could wait a turn in Wild Growth and then have a very early Ancient of Lore.
Yeah, 2 different possibilities here, and they both mean very different game plans.
Yeah, he knows that SjoW usually plays a very mid-range style of Hunter, so he knows that he has some time as well. So you might be considering that, when he's deciding which line to take.
Yep, I like Innervate Shade. I feel like I win a ton of games when I get this guy on board turn 1. And he feels like it too. So Haunted Creeper going to be the pressure for SjoW. And now this next draw really going to decide a lot of things for Superjj. Does have combo early, but I think this is a little bit too early. Right now, I think he wants to see some minion pressure.
Yeah, it's a little bit too early to be worrying about Force of Nature Savage War, but he still has a couple more turns to really draw some heat.
Yeah, Nisha gets made for SjoW. Not unhappy to see that whatsoever. And is this going to be the turn where Superjj decides he needs to use this Shade X Ramus? I wouldn't be disappointed to see it at all. I think that if he lets this Misha just get out of control, things get really ugly. I mean, say Freezing Trap gets played behind this. Now you're looking at a nightmare.
Yeah, that's a nightmare if SjoW has a trap behind this. So I fully expect to see Superjj unveil the Shade and trade here, and then just use this hero power to get back up to 30.
Yeah, the lack of utility is really what's killing him in this game. I mean, turn 4 hero power.
He really needed a Piloted Shredder
while he has a coin in his hand.
Even Keeper of the Grove would have been amazing.
Anything would have been fine, but he's going to have to just wait. And SjoW with a Wolf Rider in his deck, this pressure is about to get very heavy and very fast. Once again, Superjj has a weapon destruction in his hand, but SjoW, no weapons in sight.
Yeah, you keep seeing him getting pretty unlucky with some of his draws here, just not getting exactly what he needs when he does. Or if he does draw well, SjoW's hand hasn't matched up. I bet you dollars to donuts, SjoW draws a weapon here.
Well, I would have taken that bet if I would have had enough time to take it, but we're going to be in this position now, and SjoW just, again, no shortage of ways to deal with what's happening here. Snake Trap may be his play in this position along with this Wolf Rider.
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird if you want to play Snake Trap or not, because, it does set you up for a gigantic swipe turn,
Yeah.
But
he saw Superjj trade into Shade, though. I mean, I think
that's what I'm saying. It depends on whether he believes, if he has swipe or not, if he would have played differently, or, you might just play around it anyway because he feels like, he can.
Yeah, if he's going to go ahead and attack Harrison here, no way he's playing that Snake Trap and just so much pressure out of the board. This is a turn late right now, but I don't think he's got another option.
Well, I was going to say, he does have some Force of Nature turns here as well, but I think that's probably maybe a little bit too aggressive. If you do Keeper of the Grove plus Hero Power, it leaves SjoW with just 2 Haunted Creepers on board, and while they are good minions, they only have 2 power.
Now, the plus side of what's going on here, though, is that Superjj is at 23.
Yeah, and he's scaling to a very good
and he's going into a
here.
7-mana turn. I mean, this game is still very winnable from him.
I think he actually starting to pull ahead this game, by the way.
It's possible. The damage is going to really keep adding up. I mean, these Haunted Creepers have been uncontested for a long time now, and one damage a turn over the course of several turns is a very big difference. But yeah, what a draw on that front. And this Ancient Allure, I think, is hitting the table. I think honestly, with the way his hand is constructed right now too, he's going to consider healing with this.
Yeah, it's a very good consideration to heal actually too here, because it's going to elongate the game more. And yeah, he is actually going to heal here. It's going to make SjoW have to figure out, can I push for more damage here? He might have to use a removal spell. Well, he picked up a Freezing Trap. That's a pretty good one.
Just going to kill command this and then Freezing Trap.
Offsetting. That forces SjoW to have to play this way because he knows something like combo could come out very soon and ruin his day.
Yeah, he's just going to continue to push for damage. I mean, now this is 8 a turn, and he's sitting behind a Freezing Trap. Superjj cannot feel comfortable about this, and he doesn't have a swipe or anything, and Big Game Hunter is one of the worst draws in his deck right now.
Yeah, suffice to say, almost the worst draw. I mean, another Force of Nature or Savage War wouldn't be very good here either.
Yeah, it does. There's a little bit of a bright side to this, though. If he attacks this as a Freezing Trap, he gets to Wrath away this Piloted Shredder. So still not under a ton of pressure every single turn, but once again, these Haunted Creepers are it's more than enough to get the job done right now.
Yeah, if you're getting to silence this Piloted Shredder and then Wrath it, and again, leaving SjoW with 2 minions, but again, they only have 1 power each here, but they are beasts, for the last kill command that's in the deck.
Yep. SjoW. Wow,
Speaking of
what
beasts.
a draw from him. That is huge right now, and Superjj just used Keeper of the Grove to take care of this. I don't know if he's going to be able to fend off this much pressure,
that was probably game-breaking for SjoW there.
What a draw. Swipe does get picked up though.
Okay, so Force of Nature, if you couple it with Swipe here, can you get any really good turns?
So let's just say he swipes this this Savannah Hyman and then runs his Keeper of the Grove into it. He can Force of Nature and take out the tokens in one of the Haunted Creepers.
That actually adds power to the board, so maybe one of them wouldn't attack.
So what I'm looking at instead is Force of Nature, take out both of the Haunted Creepers.
Yeah, that's more on the line of what I was thinking.
Run the Swipe then in afterwards, and then clean up the Savannah Hyman. A couple different ways to sequence this. This isn't one of the worst turns in the game for him, but the problem is that he's just falling low on life. So, if SjoW has any minion pressure to add behind this, it's going to be very difficult for him to recover afterwards. But it does have some recovery potential.
The thing is, he needs to make this game go at least another turn or two longer, because he does have a couple more ways to heal or get upstairs with it.
Wow. I mean, oh my gosh, he's actually hunting for lethal this turn. What he wants to do is set SjoW in a position where if he doesn't take care of these minions, he's dead to combo. His hand has been played face up at this point. And SjoW, oh my gosh. I mean, just what monstrous back-to-back draws from SjoW.
And that's actually just going to put the nail in the coffin, I think.
It's 12-8. It was 1 damage off lethal this turn alone. And with Lothar back behind this, Superjj is not anywhere close to enough damage to take care of this. And wow, I mean, what a reaction from him. He's just laughing it off.
You got to feel for Superjj a little bit here. I think he played this game very well.
Yeah, towards the end, really, this is really the display of excellence for me, is that when players have their backs against the wall, they have to take major risks at times to try to get the win done. And that was the risk for him to take. But just gonna run away from this one. Not gonna sit here and take his beating from it. And just what a dominant performance from SjoW. I mean, when you get those kinds of back-to-back draws, you play well and you draw well. That's the winning combination.
Yeah.